Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Film and TV channel. And we have a little made-for-TV film today that's won a couple of awards in various places. It was actually shown on BBC Two on the night of May the 13th. So yeah, it's now available also on BBC iPlayer, so obviously check your territories if you're interested in this little film, TV film. An hour and 24 minutes, and it's called Danny Boy. Yeah, please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button. If you enjoy what I do, I try and give you information on these films as well as other people's views and my own reviews as well. So just a mix of information for you, as much as I've got on these films. Obviously something like this, there's not much out on certain critic sites yet, so obviously more or less what I think and a couple of other people today on this Danny Boy, which is brand new. Please, if you enjoy what I do, push that notification button. You'll also see on the playlist some football stuff as well on my football team, the champions of England, Manchester City, as I'm recording this, just 2 or 3 days ago it was confirmed for 2021 season. So that'll do for me, but if you're interested in that, have a look at those as well. But if you're not interested in that, don't worry about it. We're talking film and TV today, so especially, well, a TV film. So there we killed 2 birds with 1 stone there, didn't we? So that's not too bad. If you've got any comments to make, please, on this or anything to do with film and TV, please leave your comments. Of course, you want your followers or friends on Facebook and Twitter. I do check every 2 or 3 days, so if you follow and friend me on there, I will check and actually follow and friend you back. So if you're after any followers, and I post loads of stuff on film and TV on there. And say all comments welcome, and please, if you haven't got time for a comment today, just give us a little thumbs up. It's nice to get views, but it's nice to get thumbs ups. Right, Danny Boy then. Yeah, a biographical drama directed by Sam Miller. It details parts of the life of war veteran Brian Wood. Very young in this. You wouldn't say it's very young for a war veteran, but that's just how it is, isn't it, these days? It's the true story of a young soldier's, this is from the synopsis, a young soldier's journey from hero to alleged war criminal, the determined lawyer on his tail, and their search for truth in the fog of war. Brian Wood is among several British soldiers accused of committing war crimes after a specific engagement in Iraq, the so-called Battle of Danny Boy. The allegations call into question Brian's memories, his actions, and the example he wants to set to his wife Lucy, sons Bailey and Charlie, and his former soldier dad Gavin. With tenacious human rights lawyer Phil Shiner investigating the actions of British personnel, Brian is forced to re-examine everything he remembers about that day and everything he has experienced as a soldier. Memory, evidence and trauma collide on the fine line between war and unlawful killing in a legal and moral conflict that stretches from the battlefield at Checkpoint Danny Boy to one of Britain's largest ever public inquiries. It went on for 5 years. The film's only 84 minutes long, so it does condense it a little bit. The Al Sweeney inquiry, it was called. It was very recent, so you probably may know of it if it's of interest to you. Will Brian be able to look his family in the eye and be the husband, father and son they need him to be? Yeah, this TV film stars Anthony Boyle as Brian Wood, Toby Jones as the human rights lawyer Phil Shiner. I like a bit of Toby Jones, I must admit. Alex Thurns as Gavin, Brian's father, and Leah McNamara as Brian's wife. Yeah, as I said, there's nothing at all on Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic as such yet. It's a bit early, certainly with these British things. They don't pick up on it as quickly as we do here, obviously, in the UK. But on Internet Movie Database, there's 43 scores been left and 3 reviews. I picked a couple of reviews out for you, just sort of typical of probably what I expect the reviews to be. But Internet Movie Database is averaging 7 out of 10, so not too bad. You know, a little bit above the watchable. I'm quite happy with that. So I think that might drop a little, might go up a little, but I don't think it's going to drop drastically as scores keep coming in. Yeah, so I've looked at a couple of the reviews. Handcrafted on the 12th of May 2021 gave it 6 out of 10, which is fair enough. And he headlined his comment, Lawyers and Human Rights. And he went on to say, a very interesting drama of a true story. Nobody knows what happens in a war situation, especially in a country like Iraq. It must be difficult to know who your enemy is. Iraqis that want to kill soldiers do not wear an army uniform. They blend in with the locals, maybe as farmers, walk in the boots of a soldier and then decide. Obviously, I think we can see where his loyalties are with that review, can't we? And Patrick Morris on the 12th of May 2021, he gave it 9 out of 10. He was very impressed with it. Battlefield to courtroom, he headed his little piece. And he went on to say, Every story has three sides. What he says happens, what they say happened, and what really happened. The only people that really know what happened were the people that took part in the battle, based on a true story, gripping drama that draws you in as the truth unfolds. Benefits from being a one-off drama rather than being made into a series. Yeah, as I say, with something that's literally, the inquiry took 5 years at the time of the actual events, etc., etc. I mean, you're talking talking a long time to squash into 84 minutes, but it does it to a certain extent. Yeah, so on to my little thoughts on this. It is a story that obviously split opinions. Obviously, you're either in one camp. I think you're probably not in the middle camp. I mean, I like to think I'm fairly sort of liberal, etc., etc. But obviously, I sort of more or less side with my, obviously, the people representing me as soldiers in my country. So I would always stick up for that unless I hear anything totally drastic against that. But yeah, I don't think this drama is going to actually change your mind one way or the other. If you, whichever camp you're in, it's not going to give you any insight into this thing to actually make that decision. It is obviously a drama based on recollections of the participants, as someone said before there. I mean, one man's view is totally different to somebody else's, and no one will ever really know. It's just unless these things are filmed, if you like, but you're not going to get that. So there you go. And I think the above critique, or those two views that I read out earlier, probably spot on. Yeah, it's a good story. I say it's well told. The 84 minutes does fly by, which you would expect with such a short time. But it doesn't really conclude anything particularly, that we are left with questions rather than anything else. And there's no questions. You can watch the film and think, well, yeah, that's right or that's wrong or whatever it is, and obviously then read up on what actually happened in it. Obviously, it does explain certain things at the end of the film. Obviously, up on the screen, telling you what happened to the various participants, etc. But yeah, there's still questions obviously within yourself, and as I said, it's not going to sway you one way or the other, depending whether you're in the soldiers' camp or obviously the other camp of the soldiers have done wrong. It's not going to really make a lot of difference. I mean, what I did enjoy, obviously, as I said, I do like Toby Jones. I thought he was excellent in this, and of course, is it Anthony Jones, the guy who plays got Anthony Jones there. Anthony Boyle, isn't it? Yeah, I put Jones by. It was my mistake. So it's Anthony Boyle. Yeah, obviously plays the other major part in this, and they both do a good job as the main protagonists. Obviously, you've got a PTSD situation with the young soldier. Well, as I say, he is a young soldier, but obviously the veterans. I mean, obviously they're very, very young when they go into the army and do these little things, isn't it? These battles, etc., etc. So they do a very good job, and I sort of like both of them. I did like both of the characters. Obviously, they're at odds with each other, and one's trying to prove the other one has acted inappropriately, etc., etc. And they are polar opposites. But I did sort of like both of the characters, and both of the actors who played the characters. I did quite like the way they did it. So I don't think the film particularly takes sides. It shows things from both perspectives. I don't think there's any sort of political leaning one way or the other. And we know the result of the case. I mean, you're told the result of the case, etc. If you're not aware of it now, it doesn't make a difference. You're told the result of the case as this drama unfolds, if you don't know already, obviously. But yeah, it doesn't really try and influence you in any way. I said I had equal sort of chemistry, and I enjoyed both characters. So I had equally hope that both would come out of this okay. Unfortunately, one of them didn't, but I'm not going to say too much if you don't know the real story behind it. But yeah, it's just a steady and uncluttered drama. There's no messing about. As I said, it could have gone on for a little. It could have been episodic. It could have been a few episodes, but it's just been simply put into an 84 minutes. It probably could be done again in far more detail, if you like. But I think you just get a simple, quite clever, well acted, well produced 84-minute sort of legal stroke. There's a little bit of the incidents in Iraq. There's a little bit of that included. Probably about, if you add them all together, probably about 15 minutes maximum or something like that of the action that actually took place in Iraq. What it's all about. So yeah, if you like that sort of courtroom sort of legal thing as well, because again, it doesn't overdo it. You can't overdo it, can you, in 84 minutes? But yeah, it's just straight to the point. 7 out of 10 is a little bit high, I thought, because I thought it was watchable to very watchable. I'm only going to give it a 6 out of 10 because I say perhaps I wanted a little bit more from it, but I did enjoy it for what it is, and I say I didn't know much about it when I watched it, so I was quite happy. If you're expecting some a few good men sort of thing sort of film, no, it's not quite up to that sort of Hollywood style thing, but it's just a nicely told, simple tale, of which we get a result at the end, and you can make your own assumptions and make your own decisions on how that was actually came to that result. But then you can actually look into it as well and find out what happened after, which is quite interesting as well if you wanted to do that, which is what I like about films that make you think and go out and find things that are based on a true story. But I think overall, as I said, there was no sides taken in this. I think it's quite good in that way, because a lot of these true stories of this type would actually take one side against the other, wouldn't they? It would be a little bit biased, but I don't think this is particularly done in that way. So a nice, interesting watch. Not just, obviously, don't be put off, obviously, if you don't like sort of war films or war-orientated things. It's more about the characters and the people rather than that, and family things. So you'll enjoy it just as much, so don't be put off by the fact that it's about a soldier. Don't worry about that. It's more about his family life, etc., and the problems this causes, and the problems for the guy who's trying to prosecute this as well. Anyway, there you go. Let me know if you get to watch this, what your comments are. What are you going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps you have a flit across, have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel. Whatever it is, all I ever ask is please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.